Hey gamers, welcome to Ongaku Concept, your weekly dose of anime and game music theory. Today, I have something very special for you. Undeniable proof that Rick Astley is a magical girl.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
You might be thinking to yourself, but Josh, so what if the Rickroll melody fits perfectly over the Madoka Magica's opening theme? That doesn't mean anything. Yes, it does. You see, Never Gonna Give You Up is in the key of D flat. Its chord progression goes something like E flat minor 7, A flat, F minor 7, B flat minor. Meanwhile, Madoka Magica's opening theme Connect, the chorus is in the key of G flat, and the progression goes C flat major 7, D flat, B flat minor 7, E flat minor 7. Don't see it yet? You are looking at the chords individually. We need to analyze them according to the key. Let's convert these to Roman numeral notation so you can see how the chords relate back to the key that they're in. So, Never Gonna Give You Up is in the key of D flat, right? So, looking at the chords in the key of D flat, we can see that the progression goes 2, 5, 3, and 6. Meanwhile, Madoka Magica's opening theme goes 4, 5, 3, and 6. These progressions are exactly the same except for the first chord, and it gets even better when you realize that the 2 and 4 chords are interchangeable because they share notes and they share function. So it's essentially the exact same progression. So that explains why the vocals for the Rickroll song fit perfectly over Madoka Magica's opening theme, because they were written for the same chord sequence. Rick Astley is a magical girl, QED. It's not a coincidence that these two songs share a progression. Never Gonna Give You Up was released in 1987. Its progression was very common among dance and pop songs of its time. Nobody's really sure how old it is, but the 4-5-3-6 progression and its variants were very common in the disco era of the 70s, immediately followed by the Eurobeat movement of the 80s. It died out in the West pretty quickly, and we don't really hear that chord progression very much anymore, but in Japan, they became infatuated with Eurobeat and disco music, and it permeated their entire music scene, so you can hear this progression in almost every genre imaginable. It became so common that they have a name for it. It's referred to as the Odo progression, aka the Royal Road progression. It can also be translated as the easy way, which might refer to its status as a cliché in modern pop music. So the next question might be, why is this chord progression so popular? Why is it so catchy, and why is it used in so many hit songs? The answer comes from a thing that we musicians like to call the circle of fifths. For some reason, our ears find it musically satisfying to hear bass notes resolve upwards by a perfect fourth or downwards by a perfect fifth. And so chord progressions that are based on this idea tend to be very strong. It's part of the reason why a cadence is so strong, and the Royal Road progression plays off of this idea. Using the circle of fifths, we can come up with chord progressions that are very musically satisfying. And staying inside of the key, it would require the use of a diminished fifth, but staying inside of the key, we can come up with a full chord progression that uses every chord in the key, related in this manner. This is well documented as the circle progression, and it goes 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, and 1. Many other progressions are derived from this one. If we were to take a look at the Royal Road progression, since it's a circle progression, you can see right here in the middle, 4, 7, 3, 6. The 7 chord is in reality just the top bit of a 5 chord. If we're in the key of C, the 7 chord is B diminished, and those are the top 3 notes of a G7 chord. So the Royal Road progression is classified as a circle progression because it comes from this progression made up of the circle of fifths. Because of its prevalence in Japanese music, the Royal Road progression can be heard all across video game and anime music. Mario, Zelda, Mega Man, Sonic, Pokemon. If you watch any anime at all, you can expect to find it in many opening and ending themes. If you can't find it in those, check the background music. Again, you can hear this in all genres, from orchestral music to rock to jazz to dance. So by now you might be thinking, great, now I know a cliché chord progression and I'm gonna sound boring if I use it. The Royal Road progression is extremely versatile, and you can alter it to be almost unrecognizable while still retaining the elements that make it so catchy. And because it's based on the circle of fifths, that opens you up to many options to get outside of the key or even modulate to new keys through it. If this is your first time at this channel, I want you to know that you've learned 2 valuable things today. Number 1, Rick Astley is a magical girl. And number 2, all anime is rickrolling you. If you want to know more about the Royal Road progression and its variations, I will be talking about it in the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/ongakuconceptvgm. If you have any questions, you can let me know in the comments or email me at ongakuconcept@gmail.com. I'd like to know your opinion. What do you think about this chord progression, and have you heard it in any music that you know of? Start listening for it because it's really, really common and you might find it in unexpected places. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.